Welcome to Translogic. I'm Jonathan Buckley. We're back at the LA Auto Show for another year. As usual, there's plenty to see, so let's get to it. So good. 12:30 today, there's a very big announcement right here on this stage, wasn't there? Talking about Concept 26, or earlier today it was described as Time Machine.
The reason why we talked about it as a time machine, because really Concept 26 is giving you back something that is so precious, because we're letting you delegate driving to the car so that you can then have that time to yourself. And it's Concept 26 because that is the average amount of time that people spend in commutes.
Okay, as far as autonomous driving functions are concerned, would this system be limited to just, say, freeway driving?
We don't see at this time that the technology is going to be perfectly suited for all road conditions.
Right.
We take a good look at 3 specific modes.
Yep.
So one of those actually is driving, actively driving. The other is what we call creative. In that mode, the seat moves rearward, the steering wheel pushes forward, and now you have this kind of nice real estate. And then you can take it another step, you can go into relax. The seat's gonna recline even more. We don't really want you to fall asleep.
Yeah.
If in fact it's gonna route you to a safe zone.
Is there a model in mind that you have for this, or is this kind of like range-wide application?
This is a unique concept. However, we do have an autonomous drive program. We have 100 cars that will be on the road in 2017.
Yeah.
And those cars will be XC90s, fitted with the technology of autonomous drive. And then we'll be driving them around in real city conditions. They are fully autonomous, but we are clear in saying that we want people to keep one hand on the steering wheel. We see this as just a layer of what would be available in your car.
Well, I love walking around the BMW booth. We were just commenting on how many options that you have now. Well, there's one letter that we want to focus on today, and that is E, particularly the 330e, which is behind us. What separates the 330e from, say, an i3 or an i8?
Well, obviously, it is the classic 3 Series sedan, but it has 2 drivetrains in one car, which means it has the electric drivetrain that has a range of 24 miles, and then once you hit the freeway, your internal combustion engine kicks in. So it's the best of 2 worlds.
Okay, but have we had any sacrifice in performance to get that range?
It has 258 horsepower, so it is very comparable to the 328 as far as performance is concerned. Actually, acceleration is even a bit better because the electric motor has instant torque.
What kind of premium are we looking at over, say, a regular 3 Series and bumping up to the 330e?
Our plan is to have it fairly at the same price level.
And the 330e, you mentioned it goes on sale in spring.
Yes, all around the country, wherever you want it, it's going to be for sale.
Is this part of BMW's push to bring, I guess, a plug-in hybrid option or an electric power mode to the rest of the range?
Yes, absolutely.
We've heard talk about the potential of a BMW fuel cell vehicle.
We are always looking at alternatives if it comes to efficiency and what is the best solution going forward, but we don't have anything concrete as for now.
You have a lot of responsibility. This is a pretty big project that you guys have been working on. I mean, Honda's been dabbling with fuel cell for, would it be fair to say, 20 years?
Yeah, over 20 years.
Yeah.
So this is actually the 7th generation fuel cell vehicle that Honda's produced, the 3rd that's been available for the public to purchase and lease.
Okay, so 2008, we saw the Clarity for the first time. Then we saw another iteration in 2013. What's going to differentiate between this model and the others?
So one is that the entire fuel cell system is packaged underneath the hood of this car. That was enabled by making the fuel cell stack smaller. That allows more space for people inside the car. Right. So this is a 5-passenger sedan.
Have you seen big leaps and bounds when it comes to fuel cell technology over the last, even just since 2008, since the first version of the Clarity?
Since the last generation, I mentioned a 60% increase in the power density and 30% reduction in the size of the fuel cell. We've also increased the power output of the electric motor, 130 kilowatts now compared to the 100 before. Yep. So you've got greater torque, greater performance of the car.
Is it truly zero emission?
So it can be. It depends on where the hydrogen comes from. And when you use renewable energy to create hydrogen, of course, you have a pure zero carbon chain.
Considering it's been around so long, people are still scratching their head going, oh, what's fuel cell?
Well, the fuel cell technology is still a product that's in its infancy, right? I mean, we're only now going to see products that are available for commercial sale and lease to customers. So the state of California is working to develop hydrogen infrastructure. There'll be about 50 stations by the end of 2016 that we expect our new Clarity customers to be able to use.
In the realm of the Clarity's marketplace, we'd be comparing it to the Toyota Mirai. What kind of range can we see from the Clarity?
Over 300 miles of driving range.
Yeah, and we can refill that in how long?
About 3 minutes.
That's incredible.
It is incredible.
Is it true that I could power my house with the Clarity?
Yes. So the fuel cell stack makes electricity in DC form. We can pull the DC power out of the battery and using the Power Exporter 9000 concept, convert that to AC power and back up your house for about a week. So if the grid goes down...
Full tank of hydrogen on the Clarity, I could plug it into my house and power it up for a week.
Absolutely.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
All right, I'm here with the big man, the CEO, Paul Ilio. It's great to be back with you again. It's been 18 months since we got to drive the P4, and now here we are. It's the launch of the P5.
You know, the big difference between P4 and P5 is this has our own engine in it. We believe this is the first time since Nash did in 1951 that a new American startup showed a vehicle with its own engine in it.
You're still claiming $6,800 base price, 84 miles per gallon. Does it still seem you're going to achieve these numbers?
They're still in sight. I think we can do it, but it's not guaranteed.
How is that actually going to happen? Even a motorcycle at that capacity is still not going to achieve 84 miles per gallon.
Well, nothing personal, but you're a horrible aerodynamic shape.
Okay.
No, seriously, the human body, think about that. That's not a good aerodynamic shape.
Yeah.
Look at what you're looking at here. This is a clean aerodynamic shape. So, and a fuel-efficient engine, you know, high rolling resistance tires, you know, you got to get a lot of details right, but it is achievable.
Tell us a little bit about some of the other changes that you've got here. Obviously, the interior is much more polished finish.
So the gauge cluster, I think, is kind of interesting. Instead of having a hand that moves around, it's a disc, and the disc rotates through the window. Last year, you had around about 13,000 to 16,000 orders on file. Has that number changed at all? Yeah, we're over 47,000 reservations as of this week. Right, and now we're looking at a launch date of 2016? Fourth quarter 2016 is our target date currently. So I know that there's been some detractors saying that this can't happen. What's it been from your perspective? Well, I think that, you know, overall the interest has increased. We have a really strong fan base. Yep. You know, people know that this vehicle needs to happen. Yep. It needs to happen for the people. It also needs to happen for our country. It does a lot of important things. That was just a taste of what the LA Auto Show has to offer, and it's great to see green tech and autonomous driving still at the forefront for this year's show. For Translogic, I'm Jonathan Buckley. We'll catch you next time.